Composer, child, don't be afraid. It's just boils and boxes delightfully displayed. Your flesh may wither, your bones may ache, but in decay there's new life to make. Embrace the rot, let pestilence bloom. In your putrefaction, find joy, not doom. My garden expands with every spore. Nurgle's love will launch you to the core. Perfection's fleeting, decay endures. My plagues and proxies are nature's cures. Mortality's a gift, not a curse to bear. In the course of...
Okay, jokey, we are back and live. Hello, everybody. Hopefully that worked. Hopefully it's transitioned and the guys can actually see us now. Dave, how are you doing, mate?
Yep, I'm good, mate. I'm very pumped for LGT and looking forward to it. How are you?
I am a mixed bag of emotions right now. Today, obviously.
I'm not talking about the very first bit of it, but maybe the event.
Yeah, maybe the bit afterwards than that one.
After the beer, we'll have after round one.
Yeah, we'll cry it out together. Don't worry. So I'm gonna guess by chat saying "Tune is a banger song" is fine. That intro did work. But yeah, if you guys do like the song, it's just called Nurgle's Rot, I believe, isn't it? Embrace the Rot. That's it.
Embrace the Rot.
That was by what's the you know this better than I do. What's the name of the fella again? Dave will find that link. So if you guys want the full song, you might even drop it in the chat if you can, Dave, and people who enjoy it can go have a listen. But yeah, it seemed the transition worked. So as you can see, Dave has done some work. I know people who tuned into the last stream have obviously seen the sort of like updated sort of interface, should we say, stream layout that we've got going on. Some things are still working on getting correct, like the notifications and whatnot. But overall, hopefully it's a little bit more of a professional streaming service rather than just guy in the corner. So
we're working on it. We're working on it.
Yeah, slowly but surely, we're trying to find time in between our jobs and our lives to learn how to use the Streamlabs a bit better. But yeah, as the topic is today, London Grand Tournament is this weekend. A lot of people like to do like a road to London GT. Now, obviously, we're quite close, so this is the short stroll to London GT. A bit more.
It's not far.
No, it's definitely not far. It's a bit more of a distance travel for myself than you potentially there, Dave. But I'm sure we will all make it down there happily and
we will
and get involved in some games. So. Initial feeling. What are you actually taking, Dave? Because you're taking a bit of a wild one, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm. Well, obviously, I know it's a wild one, but I'm taking Death Guard. You did know that, right?
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, taking Death Guard. I have decided to take the Knight Despoiler. I'm taking 2 bricks of 6 Dash Round, each with an LOC. I'm taking a 10-man break of Plague Marines with the 2 usual characters. I am taking the Plague Bus. I've put 5 more Plague Marines in there, all shooty. I've got 2 units of 10 Cultists. I've got a unit of 10 Poxwalkers, which are either going to be holding my home objective or screening the Knight. Typhus. What am I missing? I think that might be it. Yeah, so basically, I've got something big to tower over the kind of middle and just sit back and then wait for them to come out, and then step on and unleash a load of shooting. And while that happens, I'm going to go and then send out some, just have lots of dash shroud all over the place, just making some long charges and hacking stuff up. Is the plan.
I'd probably say they're probably your 2 current favourite units in Warhammer at the moment, aren't they? Your Death Shroud that you've always loved, and I think that Knight has grown on you quite a bit.
Yeah, it's it was. I think it just with the contagion, with the -1 save and the -1 toughness, suddenly the battle cannons become very menacing.
Yeah.
And I think it particularly synergizes with us, and so I really wanted to. I thought, look, I've talked about it a lot on streams, and we've talked about it a lot as a community. So I'm like, got to talk the talk and walk the walk. So I'm like, I'm going to take it to the second biggest event in the world and see how it works, and then give everybody a real honest appraisal of sticking it in a 5-round super major. What does it do?
Yeah, hey, that's a great way to test something. Trial by fire, throw it into the pan, see what sticks, and it's cool to see someone taking the display. Like you said, you thought, hey, why not? Yeah, sorry, Zito, that was the dog. Nat's just got home, so he's having a bit of a bark off at her. I think she's outside, probably talking to her neighbour. Sorry, bloody hell, Kirby. I'm sorry, guys. He's one thing he is a good guard dog, so I'll give him that one.
And then what about you, Aiden? What's in your list?
So I'm taking the one I did with the recent event recap on. So I've actually committed to the triple brigand. So I'm going to give them a proper shot at a big event. I have Rotagus, so I have a lot of allies in this list. It's very much not my normal thing. But we've got to try certain things out, especially because the index has been out near like a year now. It's getting a little not, I wouldn't say boring, because I still love playing Death Guard, but like we're in need of a Codex soon. I mean, it's build diversity, especially for someone else trying to keep it pure, was becoming a bit stale. Especially without rules changes on things like Blight Lords, because I don't care how cheap you make them things, I'm probably still not going to run them because they just don't do anything. So for me, it was about trying something different, taking it. I had fun with it at the RTT, so we're going to see how it does on the big stage. Hopefully, get some good results. What's your goal, actually? So I'll just clarify very quickly. So the list is 3 Brigands, Rotagus, Unit of Nurglings. We've got still one big 10-man fight first, Biologist, Putrefier, Brick of Plague Marines. It's a really good tool.
Yep.
We've got 3 Bloat Drones, 2 with a Flamers, 1 with a Flesh Mower. And then we've got
good mix.
Yeah, we've got a Unit of Cultists. We've got a big 6-man Death Shroud joined by Typhus himself. And we also have a Plague Bus. So we've got two Rhinos, one of them rocking just the double Plague Caster. So it can hit really hard, the list. It has also a lot of quite tough profiles and a lot of ability to overwhelm someone. But unplayed, I've not played it on UKTC, so I'm also trial by firing a little bit on this one. But I'm sure we'll see how it goes on that front, and hopefully it will go okay. But as I was gonna say, then, have you set yourself any goals for this LGT? What is it you're hoping to achieve? How are you hoping to score? Or is it more just hey, I'm just gonna have fun?
So if I get 3 and 2 with this list, I'll be happy. I think learning to. This is the first time I'm putting the night out in a tournament situation, and it's a big points investment. So I'm learning to use that. I'm going to see how that does and how we go with it. So I think if I can get a 3 and 2, I think that'll be fun. I know how to play the rest of the list. That's just the new rather large linchpin.
That is truly for sure. Like you say, it's a lot of points, and it's near 500 points, isn't it?
I'm hoping it's but I think there's a bit of. What I'm hoping kind of happens though is a bit like when is the fun psychological element to it. I'm hoping that I get some opponents who walk up to the table and go, like, what is that doing in there? Like, and then you've got all this melee. And like, what am I going to do? And I'm hoping it causes some people to second guess themselves and make some poor decisions. And then it's about getting the go turn right. With this list, I played 12 or 13 War Dog spam list at my club, Beowulf Wargaming Letchworth, and Dave, who I played, is going there, and I had to make a kind of a turn 2 go turn with it, and basically step that thing into cover, drop the plague bus in, put the plague bus in from reserves, went heavy on one side, and the other thing I would say about playing the despoiler, sorry to ramble a little bit here, is it's about sequencing. So when on that other side, I bought the plague bus on from reserve. I got out with the 5 shooty plague marines. I stepped the despoiler onto cover so I could shoot at 3 war dogs. But what I then did was I basically then I dropped Typhus in as well for mortal wounds. I had grenades, and I basically damaged them in the right way so that then when the despoiler was left to shoot, I then easily picked up each of the 3 models afterwards. And it was a really important way of doing it, because just to make sure that I was going to wipe that flank out. So yeah, I think that's the other thing that's going to be interesting is making sure that I'm positioning things right with this list, and making sure I'm not just getting gun crazy and going, I'm going to fire that first at everything and see what happens.
It is extremely fun to shoot that thing though.
It is extremely fun, but as I've been I always test roll a lot at home while even if I'm working, I've got my dice tray and like next to me on the desk or whatever, and I'm like, this is what it's going into, blah blah blah. And there's times where this thing blows anything off the table, and then there's times where you start with 30 and you get through against a T10 target, and you get three damage through at the end.
Yeah, it can happen.
Three dice go through, so it can happen, But that's what I would say about it. So yeah, 3 and 2, and learn and be in a position to say back to our community, if you're going to play a despoiler, this is some good concrete facts about doing it.
Yeah, and that's great. That's a great goal to have. So, just very quickly in the chat as well. Hello to everyone that said good evening, etc. Matthew Harrington going with the good luck at London. May see you there. Feel free to come over and say hello to either of us. We're more than happy to talk. Huge anus. Wow, the stream's just starting and I just sharted. Coincidence? Maybe. I think not.
No, definitely not.
Confident I made you do this. I'm calling my lawyers. Feel free, mate. You can't sue a man who has no money.
Anyway, they're not going to take that case.
No way. Prove it. Prove you sharted.
Yeah, prove it was us.
Oh, thank you. Oh, okay. I think the announcement box popped up, but I've got it layered wrong. My bad.
That's what I did last time.
My bad. I'm guessing that was supposed to be up at the top. The alert box.
That case.
But it was a gifted membership from Laser Chicken, and yeah, Zio got it again.
Fix.
Zio rigging the entire thing there. It worked this time! Yay! I moved it correctly.
Patrick, hold on. Just looking at super chat. Patrick, thank you very much for the super chat. But what I will say is, if I've got 6 dash out with full rerolls to hit and sustained 1, he's going down. I will if that's in charge range. I do it. I will go for Angron.
I kill Angron. I'll come to that one in a second. So Will's also in the chat, and he's just popped up saying, best of luck for the weekend, lads. Jumping in chat 5 minutes. Have you predicted the overall winner? I'm just going to say some form of like Sisters or like Necrons. I haven't really looked at the top players list because I'll be honest with you, I know I'm not going to be up there. The army's just not going to, especially like the army already struggles to seal the 5-0 deal like GTs. I ain't getting it in fucking London. Let's be honest. But so I imagine one of the big names will probably just take it like we usually do. But
I wouldn't be surprised if Guard take it.
Guard are very good.
They like to do it. There's I think that one of those lists could do it. Could be interesting at the top.
I don't know what time. Hey, Stephen Box is obviously going to win it. Our Lord and Savior, our employer. We have to obviously pick him up.
Speaking of which,
actually, I need to get one of those. I'm still on Team Blue.
No. So that's the day 2 one, and the blue one is day 1.
Oh, that's a great idea. I need to do that. Patrick, main checking in. I'm very disappointed knowing the DRP Discuss Rotate podcast. Have you ever mentioned to not try and melee Angron? Spoilers, Morty losing that one. I've had different experience. I've had Morty slap Angron a few times, actually. It really does come down to the 4-ups on that one, I'm not going to lie. Who makes the 4-ups? But yeah, Angron can slap you pretty hard, but we can also slap him pretty hard. Swings and roundabouts. Zio repaying the favour, so congratulations again. If you are new to the channel and you really enjoy the content, you obviously leave a like and a subscribe. We enjoy those things, they're great. But if you really like the channel, you can consider becoming a Plague Marine, which is a member which has been gifted in the chat. You get access to our Discord, we do giveaways, we do plague surgeries, we're just always chatting in there, sort of people getting getting advice about lists. We got new players, we got hobby updates, people just painting and all that sort of stuff. Which is,
sorry, Aiden, just to say, I dropped into the VG chat just to say much love to the guys, and I super chatted just to say, but you and I are jumping off to go and do this, and Sierra's just put in the chat, I left the VT live stream to join my Disgusting Boys, so I feel like I went in there and stole some viewers.
Yes, that's what it's all about. Thank you so much for coming and joining the Disgusting Boys. Thanks, over here. It's slowly, mate. It's all a learning process. I'm still learning, mate, and I've been playing Death Guard and Davis as well. And we're always learning. Morty does look cooler. I'll give him that one. Morty does look way cooler than Angron. So we have the drip. We got the drip over Angron.
Hey, no, I was just going to say as well. I said it on the Discord, but I said the thing that I really love about where this Discord has got to and with the community is, even if we're not in there for a couple of days or whatever's going on, like this lot, I've completely taken it over and run it, and it's great to see that it's always there's tons of stuff going on in there.
Oh yeah, the community's got to the point now where it kind of like, even if me and Dave, like you said, for a few days maybe we're busy, or maybe like something like a boiler blow up or something like that, that'd be pretty tragic and take you away from Discord for a bit. Like the community is so awesome that people are literally just like willing to just jump in our stead and be like, hey, look, we all play Death Guard here. We can give you advice even if the guys aren't here, which is really, really cool to see. Cranky Krogan coming in with the going to be playing my first ever RT2 this weekend. I'm psyched. The last assembly video helped a ton. Thanks. Cat cam. Krogan, I hope you enjoy yourself, mate. Remember what we said in that video. The first ever event, focus on just having fun, meeting people, making friends, and learning. Don't put any expectations on yourself. Don't put any pressure on yourself. Just go and play Warhammer. That's what it's all about.
First tournament is a pencil sharpener. You'll learn more in your first play against tournaments when you're playing with some other people who are much more experienced than you can playing any learning game. So go and enjoy it. It will make you'll instantly pick up stuff and just pay attention to what's happening on the table. Ask loads and loads of questions, and you'll come away. Even if you go 0-3, I went 0-5 at LGT as my first ever tournament, horribly beaten in every single game, but walked out of that going, I now get Warhammer so much more.
Yeah, you learn from your losses far more. I'll come back to chat in a second, but just to keep us sort of on topic. And again, thank you, Zito, for the gifted membership there, mate. Congratulations, Nicholas, for getting that. For my personal goals for LGT, so obviously my last Super Major didn't go very well. Got 2 Hypercrypts on day 2 with 2 incredible players like Joshua Roberts and Danny Everson, who's also incredibly good. And I think he actually won the Goonhammer Open recently. Yeah. So 2 really good players on one of the hardest lists I didn't want to see. My goal is to try and get myself back to 4-1. 5-0, not to think about it, don't want to think about it. If I get it, I get it, whatever. But 4-1 is my goal. But at the moment, I checked the leaderboards before. Rank 1 UKTC, I am still on track for, and I think I will get that with a 3-2. So even if I get a 3-2 result, I should still secure that. The second place Death Guard ranking has betrayed us 1,000 suns at London, so I don't worry about that.
Well, there we go.
But yeah, that's my goal. Try and get back to a 4-1. But I'm also not going to beat myself up because we checked and we had a chat in the Discord. We had all the faction representation percentages up in the Discord, yes, and it was, Jesus Christ, there's a lot of Necrons and a lot of Sisters. Oh my God.
54 Necron players, 52 Sisters players, I believe it was.
So them two alone, I think, are making up 12% of the meta, I think it was the numbers were.
Yeah, they are, between the two of them.
Which is, so the chance of you getting a Necron and a Sisters game, especially first round, is higher than anything else. Which is obviously, as we talked, one of our worst potential matchups that we can get. Probably the Necrons more so than the Sisters, but again, a good Sisters player, that book is just actually absurd. In the things it can do. Really. So that's, again, that in a way, though, as much as that's annoying and frustrating, and I'm hoping they get nerfed in the upcoming status late, it also kind of takes the pressure off, because I'm like, if I get paired into a extremely good player with Sisters of Battle, if I get that pairing, when I get that pairing, the pressure is not on me to win that. It's not. The pressure is on them to win it because everyone's expecting to win it. It's kind of like the whole goalkeeper in football when it's a penalty kind of analogy where everyone thinks, oh, that must be so stressful for the goalkeeper. But really, no one's expecting him to save it. But if you miss it as the striker, everyone's going to be annoyed at you. Yeah, Meta Chasers, boo, I know, right? Chat. So if I lose to Sisters or Hypercrypt Necrons, I lose. It is what it is. All me and Dave can do is the same thing that everyone else in the chat, who hopefully is going with Death Guard, is we put our best foot forward, we give our best performance with our stinky boys that we can, and we be great opponents. And that's more important than any result, is making sure that we give our 5 opponents a great, memorable experience at LGT. And I want those people to leave the game and go, damn, I want to play against that guy again.
Yep. Just want to rep Death Guard well, make the community feel proud, and just play, like I said, play the best we can, and hopefully come away having 5 good games.
And that's all we can aim for. Yes, Aiden with the football reference. I know, that's wild, innit? I don't even watch the damn thing. Patrick, I did have a Rhino type of Helldrake for an entire game. Good little Rhino. See the little Rhino that could.
Nice.
Yo boys, I've been absent. World of Warcraft got its claws into it, mate. It's got its claws in me too. Don't you worry, man. Looking forward to seeing.
Anytime I'm on Discord, I can see Aiden at the top, and
it's stalking me. It tells everyone that I'm playing, and it shows how ADHD I am because it's 4 different games a day because I play an hour. Because I can't stay focused. But yeah, and yeah, some great advice there from Patrick to Krogan there. When comfortable shoes and bring snacks for sure. It will help. Yeah. So, speaking of London, we got our first round pairings because again we're weird in the UK. We find out a couple days before so we can stress ourselves out and make ourselves sick with anxiety about our pairings. So Dave, should we take a look at yours first?
Shout. I think we should. So I'm on table 16.
You're on table 16. No worries. For some reason you've disappeared from the camera while I googled you.
Okay.
Not sure what happened. So you're against Ross Lily. Oh, it's Sisters of Battle.
Sisters, yeah. So 6% chance in all the lists of playing sisters, which is going to be an interesting one. And he's playing a shooty sisters list.
Not ideal.
Not ideal, but it's going to be it's an interesting one. It's going to be, when I say interesting, it's going to be tough. It's going to be one of those ones where he's got to get, if he's shooty, he's got to get line of sight.
Yeah.
I'm really good, and I'm very happy turn one, even if I go first to go. F you, buddy. You come to me. And when things start moving out, I do have a fair bit of firepower to shoot back with this time.
Yeah.
So I think if in my turn I get the right chance and the dice don't abandon me badly, I think there's a good opportunity to pick off some key retaliatory shooting units.
Yeah. So I've got the list up now on stream, so we can have a look through it and let's see what these units are. So he's got the Dialogist with the Firing Fury, which I think is the enhancement that boosts movement. I think it is.
I think so. Yeah.
Junitharata, that gives one of his squads a big feel no pain buff. We've got Morven Val, Triumph of St. Catherine, because it's in every list because it's absurdly cheap. It's super stupid. You got
obviously going in with the Paragons,
which
are a bit further down.
We've got a Battle Sister squad, 10 girls, so Battle Line, 2 Immolators, triple 3-man Arco Flagellant, so that's going to be obviously scoring
units.
You're against triple Castigator. Hey, wouldn't have saw that one coming.
Yeah, tell me about it. Right, what a surprise!
All auto cannons as well. No battle cannon.
Yeah, that's the interesting one. So he's taken those because you get rapid 3 in half range. I think 3 might be 4.
I think it's the same as ours, but they get twin linked because reasons.
Yeah, and they get twin linked. So, but half range is 24 inches.
Yes.
So it's pretty close.
It is, yeah.
And then we've got Dominion squad.
Yep.
Paragon War suits, and I think we've got a couple of Seraphim.
Yes, you have 1 10-man Seraphim and 1 5-man Seraphim. So the 5-man's probably just going to be there to be doing little things. Interestingly, no jump Canoness to go with those Seraphim. So they're going to be paying the points, the command points for that stratagem, which is good actually.
It is good.
I don't think that's unwinnable. It's going to be hard. I'm not going to lie.
It's going to be real hard. This is what I mean. I think it's about going if. I've got 2 big bricks of Dash Shroud, which are half. It's a 50-50 on the 4-ups if I'm getting hit with major AP. But there's only the only multi melters are in the Paragon squad, and then there's some melter guns in the Dominion squad.
Yeah.
So in terms of big damage, there's those. The Paragons are obviously, they hit pretty hard in melee as well.
Mm-hmm.
But they are only 4 wounds each T7.
Yes, they're not super tough.
They're not super tough. I've got a lot of things that can kill that, and I've got some. I've got the Plague Bus has also got 5 shooty plague wounds in it, so there's an opportunity to either jump out to do an action or to jump out and shoot, as well as the firing deck on the Rhino. There's a 10-man fights first, big plague marine block as well. So in terms of hitting, if I can kind of get the range down and get into it across multiple places, I can do a lot of damage, and I've got things that can kill the tanks. But he hasn't. If he's playing, depending on what he takes and what he's playing, and what secondaries come up and stuff, he can just sit the tanks at the back as well, and just keep range on me. And he's got a lot of units. He can drop some stuff in. He's a lot faster than I am. But yeah, he's not going. But I don't think he's going to want to come too near me because the Arcos are the only real melee unit, and they're in 3s and they're out doing actions.
Yeah, I think you are right. There's nothing here that wants to get close to your part of the Paragons, and like the Arcos are more like you said, the 3-man's there to be doing scoring stuff. Now, if I was to look at this list, I mean, I'm so sick of Castigators. These guys need to get nerfed so bad. Castigators are so absurd for 150 points.
They're abusive.
Yeah, super abusive. But yeah, I mean, it's got a lot of menacing, fast-moving firepower and shooting. But I think this is going to be one of those where the one good thing about you having the knight is you actually have an answer to the range of the castigators. If you brought the brigands, for example, who are 24, you can get outranged by castigators pretty easily. But you have the 72, isn't it? 72, yeah, and those things.
Yeah, and in 36 inch, it's obviously half range, which gives you double everything.
Yes.
Like 46 plus 12.
Yeah, so you'll hopefully be able to pop some of those there. I'm just going to quickly go to the chat real quick. So, Necrojam, for such a competitive game, I've never had such a fun time playing competitive games. It's unreal how many players just want who just want better opponents to play, so they help them out. Mate, it is such a weird game. Hello. It's such a weird game that we are super cool. Oh, thank you very much. She's brought me a white Twix, everyone. That we're in a super competitive game, but we still have players. Like, don't remember, there's bad apples in everything, but the ratio of people that are super chill and want to help you learn to like people that are just there for like the sake of competing and wanting to win is so off. But in a good way. It's like the people are just super happy to be like, oh, she's your first ever event, cool. And you even see people sort of like, they go, okay, this is my first ever. This is his first ever event. I'm just gonna pull back the gas to give him more opportunities to learn. And that's such a nice thing because like people really don't have to do that. They could just clobber that guy and move on.
My wife's just come home.
Yeah, it's no worries, man. So it's really cool to see. So I'm glad to hear that, Necro. It's really cool to see. Dimitri, hello. Just saw the stream is up. Got my Death Guard ready for the Golden Urn tourney this weekend. Best of luck at that tourney, mate. And well done for representing Death Guard because this isn't the easiest time to represent Death Guard. So really proud of you guys. Joe Dennison Reed, haven't got time to watch properly now. Thought I'd pop on and say hello, and I'll see you on the weekend. Mate, I will see you at the weekend. Go get those sisters, so go get them, Dave. I'm sure he's talking to you with that one, right?
We'll see.
P.S. Won't forget the Mars Duo Cherry. Fair play. So yeah, how are you feeling overall then? Confident, not confident? How are you going to take it? I mean, sisters, you can only take what you can do, you know.
I mean, I think with this list, I'm basically going to try and get into. I'm going to try and get staged. I'm going to play very cagey style. I'm basically going to try and make him come to me. So if you're watching, Ross, come to me. That would be useful.
No, reverse psychology. Reverse. Stay away.
I'm actually gonna come out. Yeah, because interestingly, even looking at the thing, going, well, you know, do I want? So obviously, if I go first and I've got 2 units of 10 cultists, I could move out 6, move again, advance, and there are certain armies where I'd want to try and maybe keep units behind the walls and stuff. Yeah. I don't know if I want to do that here. I'm like, I want you to move closer. Anything closer to me is good. So yeah, I think it's going to be a case of how I think turn 2 is going to be the one that decides what happens. And if I manage to take down some, like, you know, Castigator or the Immolators, or just start to reduce that stuff. I think when it comes into infantry versus infantry fighting, apart from the Paragon war suits and, you know, maybe one of the Castigators shooting, but even one of them, Overwatch wise is not super terrifying across the board on this. So I'm throwing stuff out, trying to trigger an Overwatch, and then hitting the gas maybe on turn 2 or turn 3 to try and get into combat and weather some shooting. Because if I can get into melee, it will be game over.
Yeah, definitely. That is definitely your goal for this one. But yeah, I mean, best of luck in that one, mate. I really hope you manage to get that one out. Dave, so you can always come say hello to Dave. He's on table 16. We're actually both near the top.
We are. Aiden's on 1.
I am quite literally on table 1, which I'm not sure if that means I'm on stream table. I'm kind of hoping not.
I think you'll be invited to, but if you don't want to do it, you obviously don't have to.
I'll let chat decide if they want me to be on stream if they ask.
If anyone wants Aiden to go on stream on table 1 if he's on it, just drop a super chat and that will help us push him in. I will literally go over there and pick him up and carry him to the stream table.
So that's also known as blackmail, Dave.
No, it isn't. It's known as encouragement. So last year I started on, I think I was on table 3 on LGT, and so was my opponent, a really, really amazingly fun Necrons player, and we both basically picked up the little tab that said table 3 and took a picture, and we're like, this is the highest table at LGT either of us will ever be at.
Well, I'm just going to put a post. I'm on top table at LGT. That's all I need to put.
So, Aiden, I have two questions for you.
Mm-hmm.
Question one is, what faction are you playing against?
Sisters of Battle.
Sisters about as well. So of the 6% of what we could play, we are both playing Sisters, both playing Death Guard. And then who is your opponent?
One of the Whitaker brothers who consistently make top fours in the UKTC Super Majors.
Yeah. And what does that list look like?
It's a bit of a weird one, actually. It's a Penitent Host, which is very different. So we've got 2 Minister and Priest trying for St. Catherine, obviously. We've still got an Emulator. We've got 2 full bricks of Arco Flagellants and then 1 3-man. We've got the triple Castigator, just like yourself. He's gone with 2 battle cannons, 1 autocannon. We've got a Dominion squad, and then 3 full Repentia squads and a Callous Assassin. So this is a lot of pressure now. People might be thinking, okay, Aiden, what are you worried about? That's not Bringers of Flame, but just because we only see Bringers of Flame doesn't mean that is the only bullshit in that book. So these sisters of Repentia squads.
Yeah.
So bear in mind when we talk about our squad. So let's look at Plague Marines. So we do get a lot of good weapons in there. So we've got good weapons. We have lethal 5s, fights first. Yep. Well, and then that's about it. Yeah, we can give it sustain as well, which is nice. But that to me is a good unit. That is a solid unit. So these Repentia. So these squads of Repentia can be +3 to move, advance and charge,
right,
+1 to wound. Reroll all hit rolls, reroll all wound rolls. They can fight on death on a 2-up. They can get a 4-up, feel no pain. They have a not a reactive move, it's when you shoot them, they can blood surge move into combat as well. They are horrendous.
Have they got any, and have they got any... No, so I was just seeing if they had the character, the Overseer of contains Repentia Superior.
Yeah, she's in the squads. It's not a character anymore, she just comes with it.
Oh, yeah, great. So you can reroll the hit roll and you can reroll the wound roll.
Yep.
When melee.
And each of them is Strength 6, AP2, 2 damage with full rerolls to hit and wound with +1 to wound. Oh, they're sustained hits as well, and they can crit on 5s as well.
And the Neural Whips are anti-infantry 4-up.
Yes.
Just in case they want to use those. And they've got bolt pistols.
Yes, also that, and I believe the Repentia Superior might even have grenades as well.
And how many of those squads are there?
There's 3 of them.
3 of them. 6 up in Vuln.
And then
as well.
5 up feel no pain. That could be boosted to a 4 up feel no pain.
Awesome.
And then we've got the Arco Flagellant squads, which are 2 wounds each, with all the same bonuses I just said there, par the full rolls to hit and wound, but they can also go up to 6 attacks each. It does give them hazardous, but they are 2 wounds each with a potential 4 feel no pain again.
Yeah.
They are way harder to kill than it looks. And again, this isn't just it. It's also backed up by triple Castigator, and we've still got points for an Immolator with a Dominion squad inside there as well. And an Assassin.
Yeah, who's going to be just up and downing every turn.
And a Triumph of St. Catherine.
Awesome.
This is going to suck.
Yeah, this is quite capable of having stuff sitting at the back, shooting at you, with lots of things running towards you very quickly that are all very good in combat, that have all got lots of damage, that are cheap and don't really mind if they go away. This is quite a tough one.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, that's putting it nicely.
Yeah, and the worst bit is, like, the Arcos are going to be great for Terraform, which is the first mission, because he puts 10 of them on objective, which is, that you then commit to kill them, because you've got to stop Terraform, and then he pops 4 up Feel No Pain, and they have a 6 up Invuln, 4 up Feel No Pain with 2 wounds each. They are way tougher than you ever think.
They're so tough to kill,
because 4 up Feel No Pain is kind of busted. But, so then he gets Terraforms off, and that's kind of like, cool, and the unit I just committed to kill them has bounced, and now they die and return to the triple Castigators, shooting them, etc. So it's not the Metalist, but that also kind of makes it even scarier, especially if he's practiced it, because he has then got there's something more scary than a Metalist on a strong army, and it's an off meta list on a strong
Played by a
army.
really good player. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
not the ideal round one pairing, that's for sure. But again, as we said, Dave, it was gonna happen now, or it was gonna happen round 2, 3.
Of course.
It happens. Like, all I can do is do my best I can. I was a bit. I've got to try and get over my thingy of like. I'm gutted, obviously, because I went 3-2, and now I'm just like, great, here we go again. Like, the negative side of my head is like, great, here we go again. 3-2, here we come. But I'm gonna not try and let that get to me. I'm gonna try and stay
Yeah, mate.
positive and give it the best I can. But you know, if I lose, I lose. Like you said, he's a really good player on a really good
He's
army.
a really good player on a top army.
On a top, yeah, not just a really good army. The top army probably at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's like if you could just make this a hard game for him, it's gonna be great with a 44% win rate last Den of Fools, I think, army. You know, that's nowhere near meta, that hasn't got all the tricks this thing has got, going into a great player with a top meta army. Just giving this person a good game is going to be, and a hard game is going to be, a really good achievement. You'll be able to give this person a better game than, you know, this is not me blowing smoke at you, but like than any of the rest of most of the Death Guard community ever could. So that will be the benchmark for it. Like, and you know, like I said, look, this is why the luck of the draw goes this way, right? You can end up playing a brand new player with a first Space Marine collection army, or you can end up playing one of the top players in the world with a top meta army.
Like, people genuinely forget, and we're not talking about event winners. Event winners will always have to fight someone hard, but especially the people that are going 4-1, the difference between 4-1 and 3-2 a lot of the times can genuinely be pairing luck. It genuinely can be. I've had events where, my last London, I had 2 rounds of fairly easy. One guy was his first ever event, smashed that. Then I had a really fun game against World Eaters Ross, who's part of VT. That was really fun. That was a closer game. Then the third round, I went against a very, very good Marine player who got the most absurd, devastating wound rolls on his Gatling cannons and dropped 16 dev wounds on Morty and killed him. I was just like, oh, okay, that happened. Okay. It happens. So I lost that one. But then the next day I'm like, okay, you know, I've got to bounce back now. I got Imperial Agents round 4, which didn't have a book at the time. So basically 3-win, even though the guy actually did surprisingly better than I thought. I thought it was going to be an absolute stomping.
Also, what a legend for taking that.
Oh yeah, absolute legend. The guy's mint. It was a fun game. And then my last game was, I think, Chaos Knights, which I've like played like a million times, and I was fairly comfortable with it. So like the last 2 games were easier than the first 3. It was a bit weird. So, but like look at it now. Now I've got probably my hardest game I'm going to have all weekend, round 1. It happens.
Also, when what you described as well happened for the people that you played, right? You happened to have gone because you got double neck from Monolith, a ridiculous list. When you went into the bracket after 2 losses, that's a bracket you should not be playing in, and therefore like, by round 3, it's kind of balanced out. Usually people are like, oh, I'm playing people within my skill set, and unfortunately, then that group of the next 3 games, people played you, which you were not in that, should be regularly in that kind of bracket, because you should be playing the high stuff. So yeah, they must have been like, oh no.
It happens. So like,
it does happen. Yeah, you know, completely.
It is what it is. So I'm gonna try and give him the best game I can. You know, I have some thoughts in mind. I'm gonna keep in my head because I'm gonna need to keep in my head for this one. But there's some place for me. The thing is, his army can die if I get onto it.
It can. It can. Yeah.
The main issue is going to be trading it.
Yes, it is. Yeah, he's got a lot of bits he can get rid of. It's interesting because like, yeah, he's got a lot of units that can sit on things, and then if you go in and try and sweep them off, they can either turn out to be a bit annoyingly resilient, and if they then get to hit back, they can actually hurt.
Yeah.
Usually we don't have to worry too much when we go into something in a melee situation. Like,
it just dies.
It just dies, and then we're like, okay, now at least I'm at full strength if you want to hit me back. Yeah, this could... But you never had these games go. Like the dice can be interesting. And
for sure.
We'll see where it goes, and you're a good player, man. So like, regardless, just go into this game being like, you can play the best game that you can play.
Yeah, that's what I can do.
You just know that you're playing a very mid-tier tier army versus a top tier army against one of the best players in the world. So it's all
Yeah.
good.
The way I'm looking at it as well is that I've just got to approach it with two different. I'll see how I feel on the day on the mindset. I either push and try and get the win out of it, or I just play safe and get as many points as I can out of it. So
Yeah, exactly.
and I'll probably make the decision mid game depending on how the first two turns are gone. We'll see.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think I'm going to probably do the same thing. I'll probably get. I think like depending on what the table looks like in 2 or 3, I'm probably going to go for it. I think depending on how the first turn and a half's kind of gone and see where it goes. But yeah. I was going to jump back to the chat. Mark Roberts, hello.
Hello.
Nice to see you. Cranky Krogan says has got a piece of advice around what you should do, which is eat 7 burritos, 7 crab cakes, and then use the inevitable explosions to advantage. DG never shied away from biological warfare. Cranky Krogan also said, pro tip from my childhood, whenever you need to roll really importantly, say, Daddy needs a new pair of shoes right before throwing them. I would say, given my death card, it should probably be Daddy needs a new pair of pants. Might be a better one. And yes, Mark, you are right. In mission 1, just go second.
Yeah, that's all I got to do. Just go second. It's fine. Just go second.
Yeah.
Just go second. It's okay. I'll get Nat to order me a milkshake because for some reason that upsets my stomach like mad, and then we'll go to the game on a milkshake stomach, and I'm sure my opponent won't be stood around for too long. So, Runesome Wargaming, why do we hardly see anyone running Death Shroud these days? I don't think that's true. I think
talking about?
we're both rocking Death Shroud in our list. I think one of the things you might be seeing is that, especially when it comes to like WTC and people err away from Death Shroud because you'll see a lot of people taking more skew lists, which are focusing on vehicle heavy. Death Shroud I've always found to actually do pretty well. A lot of people shy away from it because they are slow, but I think having a unit of Death Shroud as either a 3-man deep striking can be quite powerful. What's he doing down there? What is he doing? Or like a big 6-man brick. So I think they're fine. They're a good unit. It's just some people just prefer to go like the vehicle skew because that's kind of like the way Death Guard is getting its best results at the moment. He's just taking a profile and skewing it. Me and Dave just like Death Shroud though. We just like our Death Shroud.
And Ted, how you doing? I hope I said that right. Haven't been around for a while. Good to see you back. Actually, good point. Maybe he means Blight Lords.
Possibly.
Runesen, did you mean Blight Lords? Because also what I'll say is interesting is Tom in our community actually took all of the Death Guard lists and turned them into some charts. And in the LGT unit by frequency, we've got Death Shroud.
I think Typhus is number 1 in it.
Rhino's number 1.
Rhino.
The joint top 4 are Rhinos, Plague Marines, Typhus, and Foul Blight Spawn, and then next is Death Shroud. Death Shroud are in 84% of the lists.
So yeah, they are still good. Brian Coleman, hey guys, I need some help choosing an army. Should I play Death Guard, Admech, or Chaos Knights? Now, I don't want to be biased, but if you want an honest answer, if you want an honest answer, you need to tell me what you like and what you want from an army. Because if you're going to say, I want a tricksy army that can reward like heavy, skillful like plays and positioning, probably not Death Guard for you. But if you want an army that's going to require you to get good at just basic Warhammer and get good at the core, like how the game just functions, because that's how Death Guard, you have to be good at fundamental Warhammer to do well as Death Guard, because you don't have all the shiny baubles and whistles and get out of jail free cards. You just have to be good at Warhammer. So that's a great army.
You don't have all of them. You don't have any of them.
Yes, you have none. You are white bread. But it doesn't mean it's boring. It is still a fun faction to play. Right. Especially when stuff gets within 12 inches, it genuinely vanishes very quickly. It's quite funny. So yeah, really, mate, you need to let us know what you are looking for, and I can advise you better on that one.
Do you like? Have you got another thing to approach to this as well about choosing an army? Is within the lore of 40k? Is there something you like? That is all. I know it sounds like a really unpractical approach to it, but I found that it's really important to have a bit of passion behind the thing you want to play. So if you like big robots that have got massive guns, then Knights is cool. If you like mechanical, kind of augmented, high technology things, and Admech's pretty cool. But if you want, like we do, the people that bring plague and ruin across the galaxy and are super tough and resilient, and have a very thematic kind of feel with size and plague spewers, then Death Guard could be the one for you. It's So, I mean, you've said, sorry, I think you've just put in there, you've been playing AdMech all of 10th and haven't had much success after the changes even. I would say also don't take that personally. AdMech players are finding it hard across the board. It's the army's not in a good place. But that doesn't mean that it won't be back, as soon as Codex lands or something or that. So, but if you want something that's not going to get knocked off the board, knights are tough. War dogs are tough. They've got high toughness. They've got good weapons, high amount of wounds. But Death Guard can also be tough. Now it's not the same as knight tough. So if you're looking at it from that perspective, it is not the same thing it was back at ninth. But it is still, we are still tougher in our Marines than everyone else. But our Terminators are T6. We do have we've got some things that can make us more difficult to kill, and we hit really, really hard. And that's actually the thing that makes us often tougher when you get close, is we can often kill whatever's there to make sure it doesn't kill us back.
Death Guard's best asset at the moment is definitely the damage output within Contagion. That is what we do well. We obliterate things that get close, and so it's one of those, like, toughness is a bit less so than it used to be, but we still, I think a lot of people underrate our passive toughness. Like, I know Plague Marines still die to us like a stiff breeze sometimes, but having T5 a lot of the times is equivalent to -1 to be wounded against stuff like Strength 8, and people don't ever take it into account. And you will play games where your opponent has like shot certain units at non-Marines and just bodied them, and then suddenly they've come up a little bit short because they did the mental maths wrong, because you're that one toughness just picked it out a little bit. And sometimes that can change games, because then one guy survives, you auto pass morale, he holds an objective or can then do an action. There's lots of different things like that. For Rune Sun, no mean Death Shroud, a lot of YouTube matches see tend not to have them. YouTube matches are just YouTube matches, I'll be honest with you. As we said, the stats show that Death Shroud are in 90-something% of lists at LGT specifically. But like, people who run YouTube channels will either be taking, like, they just kind of make up whatever they want on the day. Some channels want to take stuff that people don't see often, so you see Blight Lord, stuff like that. Competitive ones might be taking the more WTC focused skew lists and things like that. But I'll be honest, like, Death Guard in general aren't played like competitively on many YouTube channels, because there's just not many. When you talk about competitive armies, especially for Death Guard historically hasn't been a super competitive army, so these high-end players don't put in time to learn the army. But I will say Quinton recently has done so from Out of War. He became like their Death Guard player, and he got very good at it, which is really cool to see. But in general, people tend to shy away from mastering Death Guard because there are other factions in the game that are genuinely always tend to perform good, like Eldar, Tau. People who play those kind of armies will always do, especially if you're a good player. Those armies have tools to always reward good play, whereas Death Guard can be hit and miss sometimes. But we play it because we love it, and that's our challenge to ourselves, is to perform well with the faction that we think is coolest.
Yeah, if you can give people who play meta armies great games with Death Guard, you're playing it well, and that in itself is a reward. So yeah, I mean, I had a 5-point loss against Hypercrypt in an RTT recently against a really good player who and I was super happy with that. I was ecstatic. That was a 5-point gap. So yeah, just look how you kind of do it. And Brian, I'll let Aiden answer this as well. But how do you deal with tanks? Death Shroud.
Melee. In terms of shooting, we don't really have great tools. Where you'll see a lot of Death Guard players get stuff like Brigands, War Dog Brigands, to sort of help out from Chaos Knights. But in general, our best way to kill them is going to either be like Predators. Las Cannons are okay, they're not great, but part of that, get it into melee, put -1 save on something, and then have Death Shroud rip it apart. Even Plague Marines can come apart because 5-up lethals, but it's not easy. That's the big gap in the Death Guard indexes at the moment, is some dedicated, reliable anti-tank range firepower. But
and to back that up, 60% of the lists of Death Guard lists at LGT have got Brigands in them.
My bad. Me too. But
but it just backs up your point.
Yeah, it does.
There's a gap in it. There's a gap in index, and that feels fast, high OC, big damage weapons, high wounds, big toughness. Yeah, great.
For Todd in chat, last time I played was pre-Prior Nexus. I see a lot of things in the missions relate to battle line units. Should I focus more on Plague Marines? Don't get caught up on the battle line bonuses.
Don't.
They are nice to have. You do not build around them. We are seeing all the best armies at the moment are not using the battle line thing. That I'm against one with 0 battle line. Oh, Oh, the membership thing worked as well. Oh, yay! Look, a little doodad popped up. Thank you very much there, again, Nat, who's sat
Brian,
next to me.
welcome to being a playing room.
Oh, there you go, Brian. Welcome to becoming a playground, mate. So you can come and join the Discord. So I forgot what point I was on then. What was I on? About Toad, battle line.
Yep.
Yeah. Like the list Amigas has no battle line. A lot of the good lists in the game just aren't running battle line. Battle line is nice to have, but you don't build around it. But our Plague Marines are good. Like, if you are thinking about taking Plague Marines, take them because they're Plague Marines and you like to play around that, not because they're battle line. You take them because you enjoy Plague Marines and you do well with Plague Marines. So, if that answers that, hopefully it does.
You can win a game just as easily with 0 battle line units as you can without. I would say it was the biggest con at the start of Prior Nexus that GW made it sound like battle line was going to revolutionise the game and everyone needed them, and then we all found out really quickly that you didn't.
Yeah. Like, it didn't make that much of a difference. It was just like, meh, at the end of the day. Cool when you do get it, though. Like, when you get a 3 heroic intervention, you're like, hey, that was cool. That it's like, yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. And what I will say is in round 1 of this event, the one of the swift action is one of the things, so you can advance and do an action. So actually that's quite helpful for slow Plague Marines in first game.
Yeah, get in. Happy with that one. But yeah, I mean, I think for me and you both, for us, LGT's going to be just as doing as best we can, representing our faction, and just trying to have a good time and make some good opponents. Like, I don't think me and you have any inkling that we're going to get into Top Cut or anything like that, not in a million years.
No.
It's not a great... I said it in my last video, Death Guard is a good army at the moment. The problem is the armies that are at the top are the ones we struggle against the most, unfortunately. So I'm hoping that, I said when the balance data slate comes along, I'm actually not hoping for too much changes to Death Guard. I mean, I'd like to see the characters go back to what they were, but probably I'll see PBCs drop a bit. But the biggest thing we need to have happen for us to get back into the fight a bit more is for nerfs to happen to those top factions more than we need buffs. The top factions need to come down back to playing more normal games like the rest of us, rather than, you know, us getting cheaper, because we really don't need cheaper. What kind of tanks?
More stuff.
Yeah,
I don't want to put just more stuff on the table.
Yeah, I know. Blightlords can't get any cheaper at this point. Jesus. What kind of tanks in the meta are common to see Death Guard struggle against? Castigators, Immolators are all everywhere at the moment. Doomsday Arcs are absolute pain in the ass to deal with. Monoliths are horrific for us.
Monolith is the single worst monstrous thing in the game at the minute.
Yeah.
80 wound, T13, 4 up invuln for 1 CP, uppy downy, drops down, has...
It's so awful.
Death Rays are the most aptly named weapon in the game.
Oh, they're awful. Like Monolith is the most... If I see a Monolith across the table, I'm like, oh no, this is going to be bad. This is going to be so rough. And then when I saw the list against me, like 2 of them, I was like, yeah, I'm fucking done, mate. And then they teleported and killed Morty turn 1. I was like, yeah, I'm done. I'm like, yeah, there's not much you can do about that. They're probably some of the things that you could say.
Those are the big ones, yeah.
On any prediction on what we could get with a Codex launch for a unit? So I actually did what I was thinking about, because I'm trying to think of content ideas, because we know from GW we're in for about 6 months minimum of staleness for Death Guard, which sucks, especially as a content creators. Yep. For us, we obviously want to make content for you guys, but that's going to be hard to stretch the boat out that far. We can obviously make our weekly list things, Plague Surgery, but one thing I did want to do recently is like hopes and wishes for Death Guard Codex, and maybe like, you know, some things that we would like to see. Any prediction for getting... So I'll tell you right now, my prediction for what we get is probably just a character. It'll be some character of some form. That'll be it. But if you want me to wishlist a unit, you got any ideas, Dave?
I mean, if character-wise, we've been talking about this in the Discord, Dawn, about it a bit. I would love to get Vorks as a
Lord of Silence.
From the Lords of Silence. I'd like a nice, another chunky boy, big melee damage character. I think I'd quite like. But I think we maybe get Havocs, something like that.
I would be happy.
Wish list wise.
I mean, I'd be happy to get some version of like. I just want an anti-tank unit that is not brigands. Like,
yeah.
Please, like
long range, some kind of like plague like plague las cannon version, like or a long range entropy cannon, and then that unit to also have like some sort of viral missile launcher, something like that. Like,
Hey, Zito, if I could get a Land Raider Redeemer with Plague Spitters on it, but I want it to be damage 2 Plague Spitters. That would be the real deal.
yeah, I want it to be 4 of the sprayers from like the Foul Blight spawn.
Oh my god! I could like imagine D6 plus 3 shots twin linked. That would be horrendous.
That would be super cool.
But that would be really cool though, because that would give us. I'd love to have a reason more to run a Land Raider. I mean, I don't own one, so like that would give me a reason to go buy one as well, which would be really cool. But somewhat like that, just something with a heavy weapon. I've got a feeling our Plague Marines are going to get split data sheet wise to melee ones and shooty ones. I hope they don't, 'cause I like the weird identity they have now, but I can see GW doing that because, I mean, one of the questions I see all the time on Facebook, Reddit, and stuff like that is, how do I load onto Plague Marines? It's super confusing. And it's not the most easiest unit to understand, I won't lie, for new players.
But also that they've been doing it to other units, right? They've been simplifying them across other armies, so I think there's a good chance it does happen.
Yeah, but on the bright side, that might actually mean we get to see some rules that will reflect their role. So maybe, like, the shooty ones get like a defensive rule, and the attacky ones maybe get some form of offensive rule for, like, even if it's just like a Sultanist where it's reroll wounds and an objective. Hell yeah. I'll take that.
What about getting some possessed back?
Oh, don't. I would love some possessed back.
And just to be said that, Ben, or maybe YouTube, great minds.
I would love to see some possessed back. Something that moves like 7. That'd be nice. Like, just something that moves a bit quicker. I would also love to see, like, I mean, I want to come up with like a video all on detachments and like what I want to see. I do want to see Terminus S come back. Terminus S was my little thing that I love to use to play. It's very fun. But I mean, that's a whole video topic on itself. We could be here all day talking about what we want to see for Death Guard. So maybe that's something we can do in the future if people be interested in that.
So I think finally to say is like, guys, thanks for taking part in the chat. But remember to like, comment, subscribe if you're watching this on playback. Please do hit that like button. Please do leave comments for us. Join the channel. I think we're only 9 people away from in the Discord from being 400th person to join.
Jeez.
So if you are the 400th person to join, I've got another really nice Typhus in the cabinet that's not the one I'm using, so I will give that one to the 400th person.
Oh my god, the bribery's unreal.
As another little giveaway. And like Aiden said, I mean, look, we'll be at LGT. We both play for Vanguard. There's loads of Vanguard Tactics people are going to be there. I was going to say the other good thing about it is, I get to see you, which is in person, which I get to do twice a year.
Yeah, it's true.
Pretty much, so I'm looking forward to that in terms of the event, and also to hang out with the rest of our teammates from Vanguard Tactics, and hopefully run into a few of the other people I've met over the years. So yeah, looking forward to that from my side. Do come and say hi. I've obviously got Death Guard Dave written across the back of my shirt. It's quite easy to find and easy to see on the listings, but it'd be great to see some of you.
Yeah, if you wanna come say hi to me, just follow the sounds of crying. Because round 1, I'll be on table 1, so you can come and obviously have a hello and whatnot. Oh yes, we're also only 3.5k subscribers away from the Plague Vase giveaway, huge anus. Just look for the smallest guy in the room. Yeah, that's how you find me. That is a very nice Typhus to give away there. So look, what a lucky devil. Look for the smallest person in the room. Thanks. Now I'm not that short. I'm 5'7". I'm not that small. But yeah, feel free to come say hello. Obviously this is a little stream so we're going to wrap up quite shortly, just to say hello and obviously how we're feeling about it. And yeah, I mean, let's just have a fun LGTA. Let's not worry about wins, let's worry about losses. Let's just go and have some fun at LGT and play an event. And again,
we'll have loads to talk about, right? We'll come back. I'm going to be able to talk in depth about the despoiler. Aiden's going to talk about Brigands and Rostigus in there, and playing those for the first time in a taking that to a tournament list. So yeah, we're gonna have loads of stuff to come away with from it, no matter how it goes. So stay tuned. We'll be back with more after the event.
That is for sure. Prometheus Williams asking for any update on the dice, by the way. I believe they take longer to make than we thought, didn't they?
Yeah, it turns out that they say 8 to 13 weeks, so it can't be far off the lower end of that. I'm hoping I get a shipped notification. So like we said to people in the Discord, but for those of you not in the Discord, we've got some disgustingly resilient podcast dice coming up with the logo on it. We will get them arrived to us. We'll check them out and check that we're happy with them. If we're happy with the quality of them, then we'll put something up which will let you guys, if people want to buy some, that you can, and it will be like on par with what other kind of dice out there are. We've just kind of done it so that people can have some to roll at the tables, and that also we can give away to some of our opponents over games.
Yeah, and for Cranky Krogan, very last thing we'll sort of touch on. When Aiden was talking about those objective markers, any chance of those some discussing resilient themed ones, that'd be so cool. We are cooking something up. We are not specific objective markers, that's something we can potentially look at. But we are hoping to maybe get something going in terms of like merch. People want to sort of rep the Discussing Resilient podcast at their events and whatnot. But we'll have more news on that hopefully to follow at some point.
After LGT.
Yeah, after LGT. But yeah. Remember everyone going, don't forget your models, don't forget your cards, don't forget your tape measure, and your dice. Don't forget your dice. But yeah, and the Chad, thank you very much for coming and playing Room, mate. Again, just check the community tab on our YouTube page. There'll be a link to the Discord in one of the posts. You might have to scroll down a few now. I'll put a fresh one up soon. And you can use that to join the Discord and get involved in all the stuff there. But yeah, so I will see you on the weekend then, Dave, very soon.
Yeah, I might crash in and come and surprise you in the middle of one of your doubles games just as quickly, because I'm going to be down there Friday afternoon.
All right, man. Well, I will see you. Well, for now, everyone, take care. We'll stay rotten, everyone, and we'll